I'm Ryan Becker.
I'm Jake Johnson. We got the boat and the truck loaded. We're headed up to north central Minnesota. Hopefully we're going to put some muskies in the boat. We hit the water Saturday morning. The weather wasn't exactly ideal for filming, but it was actually really good musky weather. The fish were really active. The majority of the fish came off of deep break lines where cabbage was on top, and we stayed kind of out in that 18 to 20 foot of water. The two fish that I did catch came on Musky Mayhem's HDC. They actually are Thorn Brothers Customs. Both fish came in the figure 8. The lake that we're on is very clear water, very notorious for both side strikes, which is very exciting, but you've got to be absolutely perfect in your figure 8. I had a bigger fish later in the day that came in, and I actually made a crucial mistake of not setting back into the fish, and it cost me a really nice fish, upper 40s, close to 50-inch fish likely. Something that we really can't show you on camera is how important it is to hit different locations. You know, if the bait fish isn't there, if the weeds aren't there, but it has been in the years past, that doesn't mean that it's there this year. We found lots of our locations that we've used in the past weren't holding the weeds, or they weren't holding the bait fish. So we actually did a lot of spot hopping around looking for good weeds and for good bait fish pods. When we found those areas with the good weeds and the good bait fish, lots of times we found the muskies right next to them. We're running Musky Mayhem's HDC, which is their heavy bladed and heavy weighted Cowgirl. It's got the heavier weight and it's got the thicker blades. And what we're doing with these things is when we're casting them out, we're reeling these blades literally as slow as you can crank without the blades kicking out. That allows these baits to get super deep over these weeds that we're fishing. We're fishing kind of a deep weed edge. And when you're reeling it in, these blades are rolling right over top of the weeds. Super deep, you get it to the boat. We're kind of doing 3, 4, 5 bursts of your reel, and these baits are coming up at like a 45-degree angle to the boat. And what we found on this lake is that when you burst it up at the boat, these fish that are right on it get super active. Musky Mayhem HDC, slow rolling it, right over top of the weeds again. Fish came up, first corner in the figure 8, hung it, and she chomped. That's what we want.
Atta boy. Day 2, pretty good day yesterday. Got a couple boated and a couple lost opportunities. It's musky fishing. A lot different conditions today. Had a big storm front roll through last night and a lot of rain. Wind went from the north to the southeast, and it's supposed to go to the straight south here in a bit. Just rolled up on one of Jake's favorite spots, and it's a deeper break line, not as much weeds. And if the bait's here, the muskies are here, especially in the morning early like this. Usually they're more willing to participate and eat.
Sunday we hit the water about 7 a.m. We knew there was weather coming in and that there's a good chance that the fish were gonna go right before that weather. We kind of got a break in the weather, sun came out, and kind of switched our mentality from darker blades to lighter color blades. Those lighter color chartreuse, nickel, gold colored blades really throw that sunshine and reflect that well in the clear water that we're fishing. So we rolled up to another deep break, well-known spot with great cabbage on top, and slow rolling it, and the fish actually crushed out, which is, you know, great for hook sets. Most of the time those fish are the ones that you catch, you know, and not as typical as the lake that we're on. The clear water, most of the time the action's at the boat, and it's good to get one that eats out.
Come on, pull back with him. In the bag. Yeah. Woo. Atta boy, Jake.
Get out, baby.
Yes. Black Lightning HTC.
Rolling that baby deep over a deep weed line. Thing just crushed it like 5 cranks into the cast. Good morning, baby. Sun just peeked out. We are on the board. Ooh. We're on a deep weed edge, rolling Musky Mayhems, HTC. They're heavy weighted, heavy bladed Cowgirls. We're rolling them over deep weeds. This fish hit about 5 cranks into the cast, getting them down as deep as we can, getting them slow rolled. Beautiful fish. So right before that fish, Ryan had actually moved a very nice fish out of some deep cabbage up on top of the break. So we decided that we were gonna scoot the boat back a little bit over top of that cabbage. And first cast, about 5 cranks in, that fish that I just caught came out of the deep weeds and hit the HTC. So both Saturday and Sunday this weekend, we were essentially targeting deep weed lines. And these weed lines on the specific lake that we're on, it's a really clear lake, so these weeds grow deep. These weeds kind of show up 18, 20 foot on steep breaks. The weeds are also located on top of the break, so as shallow as, 16 feet on up, you'll find weeds going right up the break. These weed lines, typically the fish hold kind of on the edge. We were targeting locations with wind blowing points, bait fish stacked on top of it. Those areas were holding the most active fish. We're looking on the graph, finding those locations where fish might be. These fish were actually relating to this type of structure really well, so we were able to find fish on nearly every single spot that we stopped. All in all, the weekend was a success. We were able to put a few fish in the boat, which anyone who musky fish knows, any fish in the boat's a good thing. The fishing, as the fall temperatures continue to drop, the fishing is only going to get better. We're going to continue to chase this bite as the temperatures drop from the bucktail period all the way through fall with big rubber.
Thanks again. Stay tuned. We'll be back.